This is the Violent Professional Podcast brought to you by AriesClothing.com.
Who are we missing from the OLP?
Drew.
4 of the 7. And then you have Drew.
Drew and Mike.
Oh, yeah. Straights.
And then Joe. Turd Ferguson.
Oh, God.
Because he won't say why his name is Turd Ferguson.
Did we ever... I never even knew the whole story of that. I didn't even know that he was Turd Ferguson whenever I first met him.
Nobody does, and nobody knows why. He is extremely sensitive to it.
You know why, don't you?
Mm.
Did he poop his pants?
No.
He slowly changed it to Fern.
Yeah.
From Turd.
I bet he changed it to Fern. And it wasn't
yeah,
like
he did.
Someone was
give
like,
yourself
hey,
your
we'll
own
call
It's
you
one of
Fern.
those things where you start saying something and people just start, by osmosis, start saying it too.
How do you give yourself a nickname, though? By talking about yourself in the third person?
I don't know.
He just... I want you to call me this.
He doesn't listen to the episodes because there's 5 of them where we go with the Hard Dick War Daddy where we talk about why is his fucking name or whatever. We're not going to let this die, Joe, if you're listening.
Start doing that to new people you meet. Just make up a different weird nickname every time you meet someone new. Just to fuck with them.
Yeah.
I guess it'd only be funny to you.
Call me hot.
Well, as long as it's funny.
I like to party.
If I just walked up to some random chick, like that chick we met tonight, I'm just walking up oh, how you doing, Slagathor?
Calling her Slagathor or you or Slagathor?
I'm calling her Slagathor, giving her
That's
own
just
nickname.
Mean.
I know it's
It's
mean.
nothing to do with you having a nickname. You're just giving people nicknames.
Yeah, if you just randomly started giving people nicknames as you met them, none of them were nice. They're all funny, but they're not nice.
What's up, Dick Cheese?
That's how Turd Ferguson started. It was someone just...
Fuckface. That'd be a good one. Get into a fight. What's up, fuckface?
It's overused, though.
You can't be rude when you do it.
The point is to be funny and just a little bit mean. It's got to have a flavor of mean.
Turd Ferguson is good for that.
Yeah. Well, it's a Norm Macdonald. It's not original.
Yeah. Burt Reynolds, he was playing or something.
Mm-hmm. It's from Saturday Night Live.
There still has to be some reason he got called that. It couldn't be just totally random.
I don't think we're going to solve that.
No, we're not.
We need him here. Totally ambush him. And now that he's listening to this, he's going to expect it. Every time I get back with those fucking guys, they're going to ask me they'll trick me with this question on the podcast.
There's got to be somebody from his place of employment that knows.
I was with him. I don't know what it is.
So when are we doing episode 2 of Mole People?
We need Drew back.
Yeah. Drew's a requirement for it.
We did 2. This is episode 2 where we brought it up. Second episode where we talk about when are we doing that? The fans are waiting. They've been asking about it ever since I mentioned it.
I don't even remember where we left off.
Everyone
We all died.
So
but that was just the ruse.
Oh, that's right.
We got into it a little bit, me and Drew and Strades and Mike over here. And
where do we go
last
from?
recorded.
We made it to Mars. We actually made it.
Yeah.
Mm.
And what happens on Mars.
Oh, what?
So we will discuss it this week on...
Yeah, we shouldn't even get into it because that's...
It's crazy that Dan's one of the 7, but he's never barely talked in the episode.
I need to make a T-shirt because we got the OLP shirt that people buy all the time. Have you seen the OLP shirt?
I have not.
Okay, so it's 3 mole deities that people are these skeletons are praying to or whatever. They're just up like that, and so we need to make a Dan T-shirt.
There we go.
Yeah, and do something who is Dan because he's the 7th.
The obscure 7th.
That says 3 words on the episode.
Yeah, say a couple words.
That's a good idea. I always try to look for ideas for T-shirts on every single episode.
Who's Dan?
One of them, if you listen to Egg Trebuchet, it's literally about flicking eggs off your penis into somebody's mouth after you egg sunny side eggs that you get all frustrated with, and you flick it off your penis into somebody's mouth. And that's why we're trending on iTunes. But somebody was like, please don't make the dude Mark that is on a bunch of episodes is like, please don't make that a t-shirt because it'd be weird.
That would be weird. I think it's a good one of like.
But we could do one with Dan.
Picture,
like,
you just take a picture of Dan like shrugging like this, and then you do it in like the cartoon, not the cartoon fashion.
I gotta get a picture of your outline. I'll just make an outline
the
with a question mark.
Yeah. You just do it like a little bit of grayscale in there, and just like this says "Who is Dan?" and on the back says "Mole People."
I'll develop that. It'll be.
Yeah. There's more. There's more.
I don't know if that's a hit seller. What you just said. I don't know if that's a top seller, but it's got potential.
None of your shit is. It sucks.
You talking about the podcast? Did you listen to one of the episodes where I was calling you out?
Well, I may have
because none of you listened to it. You don't care enough.
I listen, but you're. I'm not gonna lie.
I think that's the one I talked shit about Jeremy.
Sometimes it's just background noise.
While you're banging your wife?
No.
Just gotta hear your voice.
Like, just on repeat the intro song.
Hey, I gotta put the Professional Podcast on.
Brought to you by Aries Clothing. You're like, I'm almost there. Play it again.
What were you talking shit about me for?
Oh, I wasn't. I just said like we were talking about like nobody listens to this fucking podcast. At least Jeremy says that. It's like he said we have like 2 followers. I was like, I fucking proved him wrong last week with that fucking with the amount of people that listen. Now you'll have to search the whole archive and see which episode I'm talking about. Is it episode 1 through 10 or after?
It wasn't 1 through 10. 1 through 10 was when you had all those gun team dudes on. Shots fired.
They don't even listen to this.
Shots fired. I know, that's why I'm talking shit. I don't give a shit.
What'd they even talk about? Guns?
Oh, they were talking about gun stuff.
Yeah.
Some nerd shit. Piecing pieces of metal together.
Yeah.
So they can look cool on Instagram. Waste a shit ton of money and look cool on Instagram.
It's like guys that don't do it anymore that still want to.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. That's most of the.
And none of those dudes follow the podcast because I've said it like fucking every episode.
It's not like they'd probably care anyway.
I mean, we hit them pretty hard that episode that me, you, and Drew did here like last May. I think it was. It was the one that we did right after we did the fucking.
Was
Dick
it the
Feet.
one that I just pieced together?
Yeah, it was the one with that after Dick Feet.
Which is also a fucking classic. I need to make a t-shirt, but I was thinking like, how do I take fish with dick feet and put it on a t-shirt? Because I'm not about that. I'm not about putting like obscene shit on t-shirt. I can make them wear socks and you can kind of see the obscure outline of a ridge of the penis on their feet.
That's when we were trying to figure out.
Or they're ripped off. There's a pile of them behind.
That's a very classical view of what the foul-shaped object should look like. How do you know? How does it doesn't look like a duck's dick or something like that? Like, don't assume.
Or a pig's dick that's all like a curly, like
screwed.
a fucking, what's that curly fry? Curly fries. What's the name?
What's the name of a curly fry?
What's the curly fry? A fucking curly fry. The dicks.
I forgot about that part when we were talking about what their anatomy was.
That's an episode that none of us really like think about much, but it's like people love it.
No, that shit was hilarious.
They want a
very
fish
obscure.
Man. A
No,
merv.
so does their hand have like 5 dicks for fingers, or is it like?
Yeah.
Or no, their feet.
Yeah, it was their
all their
feet.
toes dicks.
We told
or
Dan
is
we're
their
going
whole
to keep it
foot a
clean, and
dick?
we've done nothing to talk.
That's why he's not talking at all.
He's all smiles and figure in the back of his head. He's like, these dudes are
come
stupid.
What do you want to talk about, Dan? What you got? Put you on the spot.
Are we going to talk about probiotics?
Probiotics. Let's make an educational episode.
Dan grows his own probiotics.
As Dan leans back in his chair to prepare.
Wait, I have
talk
to
about
ask you guys,
probiotics.
because this has been a trend lately. Are you guys going to tell me to take out sections of this podcast depending on what we say?
No.
This is a legit issue I'm dealing with lately.
With us or with other people?
Other people.
Have we ever asked you?
I've had people ask me to delete whole episodes, which I don't. I save them in case I'm...
You need to
Ooh,
blackmail
remember
someone?
that time?
I don't care.
Okay, continue on. Probiotics.
You've got enough on me anyway at this point,
Yeah.
probably from other
None of you
podcasts.
are going to be running for president anytime soon, right?
False. I'm of the legal age.
We're not named on here.
We create our own cult and we become the leaders of it, and then we run for...
That will absolutely sink any of our presidential campaigns.
That's
They're like,
just
hey,
like
so
the
I heard you're part of this. I'm like, I quit.
No, yeah.
It wasn't real!
It's like in the campaign when he's at that rally and he's like, What's the place called that he wrote a story about when he was a kid?
Who are you talking about?
The campaign, it's got
Will Ferrell.
Zach Galifianakis and Will Ferrell.
And he's like, you wrote this manifesto about wanting to go to or make.
I haven't seen that.
What?
Oh, dude, it's funny.
Oh.
It's like one of those movies that didn't make it in the theater that
No,
well.
it
It's
was
like,
huge.
It's like Idiocracy.
No, it was bigger than that.
It
was a while ago, dude. The campaign came
Maybe
out
I've
a long
seen
time
it.
ago.
We're putting it.
I
on
know.
after this. I have
Okay.
for
Cool.
sure. It's fucking hilarious.
And I'll be like, oh, I've seen this.
Yeah, it's good.
You meant the other Will Ferrell. My bad.
Oh,
So probiotics, huh?
Probiotics.
enlighten us.
That you didn't. You said it so soft it didn't even register on the thing.
Uh-oh.
Turn your volume up.
Are there probiotics in that nice expired Coors Light you're drinking?
No. Now, probiotics. So there's a couple different types. So you can take.
We lost every listener. Just like he said, probiotics.
Right.
No, go.
Well, I mean, you got the normal ones everybody knows about. So you got like sauerkraut, like real sauerkraut, not the ones like where you cook it.
Oh, what about kimchi?
Kimchi is the other
Oh, I
big
got
one. So
kimchi
you got
loaded
that's
up.
the Asian one, and the German one's the sauerkraut, and then the more trendy one now is kombucha. So
fuck
Explain kombucha because I'd seen it and there's like those things in like.
I know
Whole
what I
Foods.
think it means, but you tell me what you
So
think
It's
it
like a
means.
science
Actually-
experiment on your kitchen counter.
talking about beer.
Yeah,
so-
here I see like people on Pinterest and shit. I don't look at Pinterest. I mean Instagram, but people are talking about like they make this shit on their countertop.
Yeah, you're like,
That's like you're not supposed to drink stuff that you leave in a mason jar and fucking sit in the sun.
what's
right?
the fucking piece called that you put in there?
That's called a SCOBY.
a SCOBY. Yeah. It's
so
a
actually, I have
bacteria,
on
right?
top of my refrigerator as well. So it's
You put it on the refrigerator?
well,
Spit it out.
it's supposed to be like open air. So I mean, you need to like so it's not like refrigerated at all. So you have to take a somewhat sterile like glass environment because so you don't want like bacteria to grow on the sides. So SCOBY, just like the beer we're drinking right here, it's a yeast, but so it carbonates it, but it also puts bacteria in it.
And you got to know a guy to get a piece of SCOBY, a good piece.
Yeah, I
gotta
got it
know
from
a
some
guy.
lady in Tennessee. She
Or
was
it's
selling
usually
it.
an old
so-
for
lady.
real?
No, yeah, you got to know
Yeah.
somebody who's got good SCOBY.
Can you buy it on eBay?
And then you're like, break me off a piece of that SCOBY. And then they give you a piece and you
Yep,
put it in a jar with
exactly.
some water. And then you grow that shit.
So what it does is it is kind of like how you brew beer. So it's like a yeast and it feeds off of whatever it does and then makes alcohol. So this is kind of similar. So it'll feed off the sugar. So you take like sweet tea, you brew it, and then you drop the SCOBY in there, and it basically feeds off the sugar.
But
Now-
if it's too much sugar, then it gets all vinegary, right? Or
Well, no,
what
no.
makes it vinegary?
So that's how hot it is. So it's anywhere between like 10 days. It's really hot, so it eats up a lot of the sugar, and it turns into something like vinegar. And so vinegar is another type of bacteria. So that's also the same process, except it's a different type of. It's not yeast, but it's a different type of bacteria.
So people drink like apple cider vinegar and shit. Is it
Yeah,
the same
so-
idea.
Yeah. So if you see it with the mother, so yeah, so any vinegar, it's basically it's a bacteria that comes in and eats it up and then makes it really sour. And so with with kombucha, it's a yeast. It eats it up, but because it's a yeast, it also carbonates it as well. And then if you let it go like 10 days, it'll be very vinegary. If you probably want to do it 2 to 3, so it's somewhat sweet. And you pour it off and you put in jars, and that's when you can like flavor it the way you want to flavor it after that. So you should run
Does it
different
taste like
experiments.
shit?
Yes. It tastes like shit. My
Well,
wife
it
makes
depends
and I
how
hate
hot
it.
you have the formula. So if it goes like 10 days, and it tastes like straight vinegar. But if you have it like 2 or 3, then it's not so bad.
That's why I stick with the kimchi. That shit tastes good.
Yeah, it's good.
Doesn't it smell like butthole though?
Nah, it smells good.
Why do people say that? I've heard that. It smells horrible.
Maybe
it
because it's the
underground.
cabbage, but if you do the
Yeah, as a fermenting,
cucumber
yeah.
one, the shit's
Mm.
put it on anything.
But I think
Could you put it on kombucha?
I don't know. I'll have to try
Did you
that.
get like multiplied probiotics from putting those things together?
Is that superhuman?
Would you
no,
blend? You put
Blend into a
kombucha,
smoothie.
kimchi, and sauerkraut, and blend it, and then make a smoothie.
that'd be pretty disgusting. But you're actually supposed to blend your probiotics because
I don't know. Have
each
you
different
tried it?
type of thing
too
is like
much
a different type of bacteria, and so you want to like blend multiple probiotics. So you're encouraged to like eat like cabbage, kimchi, and other like kombucha, that sort of stuff.
I feel like if you want bacteria, you just take a lump of dog shit out of your fucking thing and eat that. It's a lot less work.
But I think the theory behind it is that like it coats your intestines, and so like when bad bacteria goes through your intestines, it just doesn't have anything to attach onto, because the good bacteria is attached on your intestinal wall.
It's fucking
So
science.
I'm pretty sure that's the theory behind it.
Neil
How do you
deGrasse
figure
Tyson,
that?
everyone.
How do you figure that
Do they
out?
put,
though?
like,
Do you just
cameras
cut somebody
inside of
open? Yeah,
somebody?
you just cut someone open. Like, let's watch this shit. It's gonna be awesome.
Stool samples.
Artificial intestinal walls.
Yeah, but my stool samples are just full of blood. How are they gonna tell the difference?
You may have cancer.
Maybe Jeremy is a probiotic source that we could eat now.
You're going to eat his ass?
Yes. Oh.
Why do you have bloody stool?
I don't. It was a joke.
Well, you ruined the joke.
It's just one of those jokes I just didn't want to carry.
You don't want to be known as the dude with the bloody ass from the podcast.
Bloody ass from the podcast.
I've been known as worse, so it's not like
Yeah.
it'd be a big deal.
At least you're not turd ferg. And we come full circle.
Yeah, bring it back. So, in summation, this extremely short podcast about bloody assholes, kombucha, and Turd Ferguson. Where do we go from? How do we top this?
This is what happens when we don't have a topic and we're just bullshitting.
No, sometimes it goes for fucking hours, like the mole people.
Yeah.
It goes for hours.
We were kind of focused, though. We had a mission.
Yeah. It's always a good warm up just to fucking have it going, though.
Yeah, we'll get the
That's
idea train flowing. Rolling. Flowing doesn't make sense. That was stupid.
That might as well be what we talk about. What are we going to actually do a podcast on in a minute?
Some things, everything, nothing.
You guys were talking about football before. Why don't you start talking about that?
How pissed off we are that our
Just
fantasy
anything.
teams suck?
Yeah. Your
Except
fantasy
for Dan.
football leagues.
The guru over here?
Because when you see someone in person, you talk about, you use the word fantasy and you throw it around, it's different. When you have to listen to a bunch of dudes talk about their fantasy, like, it becomes a little...
It is a silly name for a fucking make-believe thing.
Yeah.
Isn't that what fantasy is?
Yeah. Make-believe football. It's where it
Actually,
should
just
go.
a bunch of athletes that are, people are winning real money on their likeness and they don't get a dime of it.
They get paid pretty good. I don't feel bad for them.
Modern day jesters.
It would be gladiators, right?
Yeah.
Just no
gladiators.
tigers and shit running around trying to eat them,
Yeah, but
stabbing them in the
gladiators
face.
didn't get paid, right?
Huh?
Gladiators didn't get paid.
It depended on if it was a slave gladiator or was a free gladiator.
There you go. There's the topic.
like-
Talk about the history of gladiators and shit.
Like
you seem
Nero-
to know a lot, Jeremy.
Yeah, like, well, it depends on it. Like, so, like, Nero would take his legions, and he would make his legions fight, like, wild tigers and other animals, or they would use gladiators, depending on what they're trying to do. Like, usually, a lot of it was like, wild animals tear people apart for like executions, but different emperors had different like styles of how they did the games and different categories. And there were certain gladiators who were like freemen gladiators that were just straight murderers. That
They're
they
like,
would,
bring me the slave gladiators. I will kill them.
but usually the slave ones are for dying by the more the professional ones or by the legions and stuff like that. I mean, because they I'm pretty sure it was Nero. It might have been. I can't remember what emperor it was, but one of them was like, I want animals, but I don't want nothing tamed. So like prior to the games, they went down to Africa and they got lions and everything else and brought tigers in from the east and like all these wild animals and bears, like the whole spiel. And like, they're like, I want them hungry and I want them starving and I want them no customation to being tamed. And then they would just shred.
See, that's $1 billion business. I'd pay to watch that shit.
What, the fighting or the capture of animals?
You take a dude and you pay him a bunch of money and say, go in there in that ring and fight this lion and tiger that are out
with
of the
swords,
wild.
because if you have
With
a gun,
swords.
you're
Yeah.
just
No,
you are-
yeah, swords. No, not guns. That's not fair.
I think a gun, like Literally, people these days are anti-gun, but I think a gun fixes all of the horrible situations. If you were a gladiator today and you were like, you have to fight all these animals and you're like given a pistol, you would win every time.
Oh, yeah. Well, I don't know how many animals.
16 bullets, 16 animals,
bullets,
16
animals.
lions.
Yeah, you better be a fucking
You're fucking
marksman,
dead, dude.
or you're done.
Because you'd have to wait till they got close to shoot them. So
So do you
it'd be
get
more
like
intense.
a knife as a backup?
And what if it's a 22? It's be like,
yeah,
what the
16
fuck?
animals, 16 bullets, you get a knife in case you miss.
Kill
Good
yourself.
A 4-inch blade.
Yeah, sure.
No reach. Gotta make it.
And it's all dull on the sides, but the point is, so you have to get a clean stab.
But yeah, that shit was real. I want to say one of the emperors brought in something like 35,000 wild animals for it was like 20 days of games.
I was just thinking, like, what if it was like they got a bunch of flamingos and shit? It's weird animals that can't really kill you, but they're hungry and running around kicking you and shit. Kangaroos.
Kangaroo boxing matches. You against the kangaroo.
They would be distracted because they're beating the shit out of each other, and you're just like, what the fuck?
Nah, just one kangaroo,
Kicking you with their
one
feet.
dude.
I would argue that during that time frame, that was a bridge too far.
Flamingos and kangaroos, if they brought it.
Well, not flamingos. Well, wait,
Flamingos aren't going to do anything.
are flamingos?
They're in the Eastern Hemisphere.
Okay, yeah, I know there's a lot in South America too, so I just didn't know.
Florida,
if they were,
right? Or Florida. Africa. Aren't they from there?
Yeah, I think
Oh,
South
wow.
Africa they got flamingos. I'm pretty sure.
Couldn't tell you.
None of us are scientists or... And
Dan?
what is the science
Dan,
word for
where are they
animals?
I just read my kids' stories. That's the only reason I know it.
I don't know what's.
But I don't know if they're
native
native to like where when they originated out of.
But I mean, the Middle East used to have like a lot of lions and stuff like that. But it's because of like the gladiator games.
They
Like,
have big cats still.
Didn't they
Yeah.
have big cats in England?
I'm pretty sure they may have been lions all the way up to England. I'd imagine.
I know they had bears.
One
I'm pretty
time.
sure they had lions from all like the statues and stuff they have from back in the day, unless they brought them in. Who knows?
Yeah, I mean, you got the ancient cave drawings.
England doesn't have shit now. They have like little tiny deer, and that's about it.
Yeah, they stripped those resources thousands of years ago.
Hedgehogs.
Just like South Korea too. Like there's like very few wildlife there because everything got eaten from years and years of oppression and lack of food from Japanese control over mainland Korea.
Yeah,
That was the weird thing about Africa. Like you'd be in a city and you'd see monkeys and shit everywhere, and you'd go out into like the jungle area where there's like a little village, and there wasn't anything. You're like, what's going on here? They're like, oh
Eating
no,
all
because
the
they
monkeys,
kill everything and
scavenging,
eat it. You're like, oh okay, I get it.
I guess.
Because they're living in like mud huts.
Yeah, well, in a world of people today that got forced back into hunting to survive, a lot of people would starve. Or you get some of that long pig. That's easy.
What are those ones that are... there's two kinds. There's, in Texas, the pigs that are...
No.
Lawn pig? Is that what you said?
Long pig.
What is
Fuck's
that?
a long
You're
pig?
pretty, but you're stupid. You're long pig.
What?
Long pig.
I'm still confused. Too.
Yeah, me too.
That's
I
what you
guess
call
I'm
eating
dumb.
humans. Long pig.
Oh.
Because we are a lot like pigs,
Yeah.
anatomically structured. Long pig.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Anatomically similar to humans
Correct.
in every way. I thought you said lawn pig, like
Lawn.
like
pig,
yard
lawn
bird.
dart.
I was like, what's a long pig? That would be terrifying. So a fucking really long pig that wouldn't even know how to...
It's like a Datsun, the dog, not the car.
It's really low to the ground and it's got short legs.
Yeah. It's just long, though, like 8 feet long.
It's ready to go as a hot dog already.
Strongest spine of any animal known.
Mostly spine. Stupid. It's mostly spine. Really long intestines that are parallel to each other like that.
Longest intestines of any land animal.
Shortest legs because you're not going to eat them anyway. Some people eat ham hocks.
What is a ham hock?
It's a pig foot. It's like the bloody nub of a pig foot.
That's disgusting.
It is.
Why would that taste good?
Well, I don't know. Have you ever been in the
Bone marrow.
grocery store and see a bag full of chicken feet?
Yeah, what'd you say, Dan?
Bone marrow. Just
Bone
like
marrow
chicken
is
feet,
Vampires
stuff like that.
eat it.
Yeah, it's just a flavor stuff. More like soups.
So you
Bone
put,
marrow is
what
good.
about chicken
Yeah.
feet? Who the fuck's eating chicken feet?
They're probably using it for like soup or something.
Go to the grocery store and get fucking bag of chicken feet. My son gets freaked out by them every single time.
What grocery store are you going to?
Walmart.
No fucking way.
Yeah, there's fucking plates and bags of chicken feet.
What?
I usually feed that to my dog because it's like got
That might be what it's
glucosamine
for,
in it.
but it's in the
Yeah,
it's
good
in the
for
chicken
animals.
section. You'll probably see it everywhere now. It's like when you buy a new car. And
You get a
like-
bag of chicken feet with it.
Then you see that car you bought everywhere.
You guys never heard of this deal? Must be in Olympia only. Every time you buy a new car, you get a bag of chicken feet in the glove compartment. No. I was saying it's like when you get a new car, you start seeing that fucking car everywhere. Now, because I've told you there's chicken feet in the chicken section, you're going to start seeing it every time.
I don't think so.
I think it's popular.
suck
for, like,
those
Asian
toes.
Stuff. Like
You're going
Asian
to buy it
food.
and just sit there watching whatever TV shows you watch and start sucking the toes. So that's the only thing I can think that you do with them. I don't know why you would buy chicken feet. Somebody that's listening to this, if anybody is, because Jeremy thinks that nobody listens,
They're like,
comment below and tell me what chicken feet are for.
I don't.
You buy
I don't
it just to
believe
throw it
that
out?
Nobody listens. I do that to fuck with your ego.
I know, but I make jokes about it because it adds time onto a podcast that we're trying.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Fucking chicken feet.
Yeah, I think they use them mostly for like bone marrow to like boil them in soups.
That's what I thought. Yeah.
Chicken
Stock.
broth.
A little stock.
Chicken stock.
But if you feed them to your animals, though, it cleans their teeth, gives them glucosamine, so
Yeah,
it's not too bad. Like, especially for like an aging dog.
I'll say
An
this.
Asian dog.
can't give your
Aging.
You can't give your dog too much raw meat. They start like shitting their pants.
Dogs don't wear pants.
I mean,
Okay.
Man, your dog's on a.
Touche.
yeah, I feed my dog on a raw diet. So
I do too, but if I give them like a big thing of bone, like too much bone and too much like raw meat, and that's all they're eating, like if I like let them feast, it's nasty.
you're supposed to proportion like 3% of their body weight, and like there's certain rules like.
Well,
which-
I know day to day,
yeah.
but this is like a treat. I'm like, hey, go eat this, and I was like, that was too much.
What kind of
Oh.
dog do you have?
Labs.
I have a Malinois, and she will not touch raw meat.
So I bought mine in England. We're eating raw meat before I ever even got them, so we just continued that.
They
diet.
start that from birth. So I'm trying to feed mine
Yeah, 'cause I
raw
used
meat.
to-
She won't touch it.
I used to have a Weimaraner, and he was like 6 when I tried to switch him to a raw diet, and he was just like, no. He was
She's
so addicted
one.
to
She
that
fucking
fried
hates it.
dog food, and he just wouldn't switch. But my dogs are crazy about raw meat.
If I take that raw meat that she won't eat and I throw it in like a hot pan for like a second and then give it back to her, she'll eat it though.
That's
Super weird.
I don't know. Like I said, with the dog that I tried to switch after he was older, it didn't work, and then they were raised doing it because it's super popular in England. Like you can go into the pet store and buy like freeze dried dog food, and it comes out like kibble, so it's not all stuck together. You know, you keep it in your freezer. But it's so hard in the States because one, meat's way more expensive.
Yeah, true.
So I've actually cut out the raw diet lately because meat's gotten so expensive lately.
Yeah,
It's where that bag of chicken feet comes in. I
That's
figured
right.
it
You
out.
gotta get that chicken feet.
Yeah.
it's good for the dog.
Can you feed them deer?
100%.
Uh,
Oh, you gotta be careful with what is it? Because you gotta.
certain bones are okay. Like you can't feed them like beef bones and like pig bones, and like you can't feed them cooked bones. Like they has to be like raw. Otherwise,
don't
they'll
you have to-
splinter.
Yeah, chicken bones they can eat too if they're not cooked. But is
It's
it
just
every? I
chicken.
thought it was just chicken.
It's just chicken splinters, right?
If it's cooked, yeah.
Only chicken though. I've never heard of any other one doing it.
That might be true.
Now, would you have to see? This is the problem though with game meat. Wouldn't you have to worry about diseases if you're giving them raw meat?
Worms and shit.
Yeah, worms, and then there's other shit you
Yeah,
have to
you
worry
probably-
about.
Maybe, yeah. Depending on the type of meat it is.
I don't know.
You're probably okay with deer, but pig probably.
I feed them fish. I'll just go throw my net.
I mean, you gotta think
They, like-
frontier life, people like
tons
that
of
with
mold.
dogs, like they largely subsisted on game meat.
I just feel like
They
they're
had to
not-
be feeding their animals.
But they've
Yeah.
changed.
I mean, because if you think our modern day dogs like bred off of a wolf, and so they're designed to eat meat. So anytime you feed them regular dog food, it's grain, so they just like poop out like 3/4 of what they eat. So they're not designed to do that.
Yeah.
But I mean, you feed the dog the raw diet, their body will naturally consume most of it, and then you don't have to poop scoop as much.
Do you just give raw meat, or do you put other things in it? Because I was doing like raw meat, and we did rice for a while, which I think rice was a bad idea, but it was cheap. Rice.
What's wrong
and
with rice?
vegetables. Because it's a grain. Really, you should be doing like, I think sweet potato is probably pretty good, but it's a pain in the ass.
Why the fuck can't an animal eat rice?
Well, you're supposed to be getting away from grain, right?
Yeah, because they just poop it out. And so it's just more of a job for you to go in the yard and poop scoop. You're just trying to avoid
Yeah.
that.
Oh, okay.
But
Is there a diet that you could give a dog that they'll never poop? that they'll consume everything. That's the goal, right? They'll never poop, and you never have to poop scoop. So chicken feet, bags of raw food.
Dogs shitting too much.
I mean, how many times on the episodes have we just stopped and be like, yeah, so that was interesting.
Or it takes
What
a
are we
hard,
talking about next?
hard 90-degree
dogs,
right turn
yeah.
to a different direction. You're like, what?
Do your
How the
dogs
fuck
ever
did we
eat
end up
food?
here?
No.
Because I have puppies that are a week old, and I haven't seen a drop of poop because the mom eats all of it, and it's really weird. I think it's normal, but
It is
It is
normal.
fucking
It's
weird.
disgusting.
it's good though because I don't have to clean it up yet, or my wife doesn't.
My dog, I walk her on the trail, and she jumps into the bushes like fucking 20 feet and shits in the woods.
That's perfect.
The only time I ever cleaned up shit was in my house when she was, when I was training her. And then after that, she just shits in the fucking woods. She just started doing it.
I gotta pick it up every fucking day. I hate it. It's gross.
Like if I'm too lazy and I like let her out in the backyard, I'll have to clean up shit. But never I never usually let her out there other than like if I'm just random Saturday or something like that.
Do you mean by the woods your neighbor's front yard? I feel like that's what you're actually saying. You just don't
Yes.
want to say it.
Yes.
It's a bush and a tree in my neighbor's front yard. It's the woods.
Grass eventually will be. There's a tree there. You know what the woods is?
There
There's
was
trees.
woods once upon a time.
No, the fucking woods. I walk around the trail. Like my house is next to the woods. Live in a fucking community.
You know how dangerous that is? You're going to lose your dog to Bigfoot.
It's bullshit. Weren't we supposed to do an episode like that where we
Yeah.
talk about partying with Bigfoot?
Yeah.
Fucked up. We could have done it now.
There's a movie about Bigfoot.
Where are you from? You're from
Florida.
Florida, Arizona,
California.
yeah, sort of Pacific Northwest, sort of.
What?
NorCal.
What?
NorCal is that what they say? NorCal.
Yeah, NorCal.
That's kind of Pacific Northwest. It's not bad.
It's pretty
fucking-
bad.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. You right.
I used to want to move to the Northwest. I just don't think I can do it with how many like retarded people there are. Not that there's not stupid people in the fucking Southeast. There's some really dumb people there too, but I don't know.
Didn't we go off about that with Drew?
Yes.
Yeah,
We've covered the Pacific Northwest so much. I'm so tired of hearing about the Pacific Northwest.
because it's magical, dude. It's Narnia, dude.
I was flying over LA the other week, and I was like, "This looks like a shithole."
That's not
This
the
looks
same
like-
as the Pacific Northwest. It's like completely different.
I've been up there too, though. It is beautiful. It's more about the people.
Exactly, but it's anywhere you go where there's just shitty people. They ruin it. Stay away from the I-5
How
corridor.
far north does the San Andreas fault go? Fart. How the San Andreas
The
fault?
San Andreas fault.
How far north does this, like when California falls in the ocean, which it will, and we'll all be extremely happy about it, is it going to reach the Pacific Northwest? Like, is it taking the West Coast down,
No
or is
way.
it just Cali?
They say that Tacoma will be affected by it.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, that's not going to happen in our
And just they're
lifetime.
like, their property value will decline. It's kind of what it means.
That's what they care about. Yeah. It's cute.
It's kind of a stupid place to live. There's volcanoes and shit there that can explode.
I need one of
We're
our
looking at it
scientists.
every single day. They're like, that's fucking beautiful. It's like, that is Satan. It can kill us right now. Like,
No, it's like, okay, take California, for instance. They're like, oh, the environment. We love the environment. How much fucking water do you pump from the fucking Northwest down to California just to support all these fucking people? You actually care about the environment? What kind of damage is that doing? Like, it's just stupid fucking people.
And this is the thing. They refused to build a desalination plant. They could,
Yeah.
but it would intake like fish in there and possibly kill fish.
But it would solve all
And
the problems. For
it
fucking
would solve
water.
all the
They're
problems. And
stupid.
so now,
From the ocean, when you say desalination?
yeah. So from the ocean, like they won't
convert
build
it to
plants
fresh
because this possibility could kill fish and stuff like that.
because it's going to
Environmental
suck into
concerns.
the grates.
they'll
and kill
fucking
'em.
fuck each other and make new fish. Who cares?
Yeah. The entire Central
I don't know
Valley
if that's how
was
it works.
like the entire
They lay
food
eggs
supply
and
of
shit.
America was in stake like a couple years ago when they had that drought and they won't build desalination plants. It's
Yeah.
stupid.
Stupid people. I'm not saying all of the Northwest. I'm saying California mostly, but
I don't endorse California draining the ocean.
it wouldn't drain the ocean.
Or are you admitting that global warming is actually happening, that everything's melting, and California needs to be the savior of global warming by desalinating all the water and taking it into California because they can't manage their own
There
water
we go. We
resources?
can convert deserts into forests, and that could be our way to solve global warming.
That being said, don't get me off topic. I need to know that all the Pacific Northwest is going to fall into the ocean.
No. Not
I don't
all of
trust
it.
you. You don't have a trusting face. I feel
Literally,
like
I just told you science facts that I just made up that Tacoma, the property value is going to fucking decline. So you don't trust me.
I need one of the scientific listeners out there to.
We don't have science listeners. They look at it to
You
be
don't
like, this
know
is
that.
a case study of idiots. Like, that's the only time.
It's perfect. It's like watching Idiocracy.
Yeah.
These dudes are probably sitting in their chairs, pooping.
That's
and
why.
jacking off
That's
at the same
why
time.
a million
Come back
people
later,
listen
bait
to
and
us
gulp.
every time there's an episode. Jeremy, that's not a fact. That was just a lie too.
Give me a minute, I'm baiting.
Great movie.
Oh yeah, way underrated.
But it's not just the San Andreas fault, because was it about a month ago they had that huge earthquake in California? I mean, China Lake, Ridgecrest area, but that wasn't along the San Andreas fault. And there's like a lot of fault lines along the West Coast in general. So
Wouldn't you say you're an outlier from that state?
maybe.
Yeah, just a bit. Okay, anyone you knew from back in school, are they a bunch of fucking idiots?
I don't think just because people are from California, they're gonna walk around like idiots.
No, I mean, I think
that's
most.
debatable.
I think it just generally is like, I just don't have good conversations with this person.
I feel like the
It
smart
doesn't
ones
affect
leave.
anything.
Look at Tom Brady. Look how good he's doing in New England. He left California.
I don't think that has anything to do with that. But
Yeah.
Yeah. I was trying to make a point, but it didn't work.
if California was so good, Eli wouldn't have demanded being traded to the Giants,
That's another good point.
which landed Drew Brees at the Chargers, which ultimately landed Drew Brees at New Orleans.
Was that the same draft? I thought Phillip Rivers and him switched positions. Phillip Rivers was supposed to go to the Giants.
No.
Drew Brees was part of the Chargers for a while. He
Yeah,
just-
but Phillip Rivers and Eli switched positions. They were
Was it
supposed
Philip or
Yeah,
was it Eli?
to- It was Phillip and Eli.
No, was it Eli or I can't remember that order.
Phillip
Phil-
and Eli switched positions. Phillip was supposed to go to New York, and Eli was.
I thought it was
supposed to
Drew
go
Brees and Eli Manning. I could be wrong. I don't fucking remember.
It's been too long.
I don't know. That's a Google question, but I'm 99.9% sure that
Doesn't change the fact that I just want to know if the Pacific Northwest is going to fall into the ocean.
I could take.
I
out
told you
Oregon.
the property value of Tacoma is going down.
It'd be nice if it took out Oregon as well. Oregon, San Francisco. Take
Yeah,
both of those
Portland. Just Portland.
I'd say
Yeah, just
Portland,
Portland.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, pretty place, but
It's where like the
full
Rose
of
City
trash people.
Antifa are. Trash people.
trash people.
It is, man. It's ridiculous. Portland's a cool city. The people are not cool.
Look at the homeless epidemic because of the laws they put in place to allow them to camp on the damn street in front of
I
people's
feel like
shops.
the podcast is
bullshit.
turning into
Political.
the old. No, I don't care about that. Like whatever we talk about, but like the past like 3
Old
or
man
4
rambling.
episodes, we talked about homeless people and Wikipedia and animals.
Probiotics.
Probiotics.
Picking up dog shit.
A adequate supplement for probiotics if you hate kombucha, sauerkraut, or fucking kimchi is eating dog shit off your lawn. It's adequate, man. We're helping people. That's what the whole thing is.
I would say the Northwest is probably not going to fall in the ocean with earthquakes. It will probably be rising water from global warming.
And that's why Tacoma will get property values down because they'll.
As you go up, though,
Yeah.
like further into the Northwest, isn't it pretty elevated above sea level?
Well, it around I-5, the I-5 corridor, what I just say or whatever, but it's the Cascades are right there. So it's everything to the west that is relatively like from 0 to 400 feet.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think it's supposed to rise 50 feet. So if you're above that, you're good.
I feel like we're not
I'm
going to see
not.
this happen, so it doesn't even matter. No.
Are you in more trouble in like Destin for the Harbor Walk Village that was built on sand pillars or some shit?
I don't know. I think I'm like 27 feet above sea level, or
Yeah, we probably feel it. Well, because wasn't Crab Island? Because didn't Bowman show us pictures of like Crab Island a couple
Yeah.
decades ago? It was like
it used to be an
sandbar.
actual island sandbar. Now it's all underwater.
Yeah.
It's just because drunk bitches are shaking their ass,
Weighing it down.
flapping their buttholes on top of water. And I don't care who you are. If you flap your butthole near a fucking sandbar, it's eventually going to erode.
So many whores out there.
So you're saying it's erosion, not global warming.
Whorosion. It's Whorosion.
Whorosion. Oh, nice.
That's what it's called when
Horquake.
dirty hoes
It's a
flap their
horquake.
buttholes near sandbars and it moves into the sea.
You better trademark that quickly. Otherwise, I'm putting it on a shirt.
That's the t-shirt, dude. Whorosion, a bunch of crabs and it's fucking boats around a butt-shaped island.
If I made that shirt and took it down on my paddleboard to Crab Island and just went like boat to boat selling it, I would make hundreds of dollars every weekend.
It's a conversation
tourist
starter. Like, what the fuck is Whorosion? It's what you're doing there, you dirty slut.
It's a outline, like a stripper outline you see like on the truck mud flaps or something like that, and with crabs all around it, and it says Whorosion across the top.
That's a t-shirt.
Perfect.
That's the new t-shirt.
Those drunk bitches would eat it up.
See, creativity, I couldn't even say that. Creativity is not like, it's not all the time. It's just like you say one thing and you're like, that makes fucking sense.
Yep. Or is Whorosion what a fucking bitch does to a dude? Just
Well, it's got multiple levels to it. It's extremely deep.
Whorosion could be a whole episode in itself, I feel.
just eroding a man down to nothing. Whorosion. That's another term for it. In the dictionary.
There are
it's like
words
one of
that
those
have like
extra
multiple
terms.
meanings and it's the
Yeah.
same fucking thing.
Yeah.
Like there and there.
The goal of this podcast now is to get it in the Merriam-Webster dictionary. Whorosion.
No, it's going to be in the other one. What's the
Urban Dictionary.
Urban
Of course, I'm
Dictionary.
going to fucking do that next week.
100% going
Let me
in the
Google
Urban
that. Andy,
Dictionary.
Google
Imagine if it's
Whorosion
like,
and see if
you
it's already
look
in
up
Urban
in the
Dictionary.
Urban Dictionary and it's what we just talked about. Like, we're not fucking creative at all.
We're not the only ones that thought it. Fuck.
Whorosion. Can you make the Urban Dictionary definition right now?
We have a fact checker, not on the mic.
It's not even on Google. If that's not on Google, okay.
Good to go.
Whorosion.com.
Yes.
I have to wait to drop this episode so I can actually.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be a bidding war on this fucking domain. You
I
get
didn't
back
know-
and be like, there's 5 people that have
It's
4 other people.
weird thing though, but it is so damn easy to build a website now. I tried to build one in college and it took a long ass time. Probably
It's
like
for
a
your
week.
alpaca farm.
Yeah, for my pups.
Oh, you were doing a dog breeding thing. I couldn't
Yeah.
remember. The funniest
no.
thing I could think of was an alpaca farm.
That would be pretty
Should
sweet.
shape their hair in fantastic
You
ways.
could make some fucking money off that. But yeah, it takes like a couple of hours. Super easy now. You probably built it.
To breed a dog or to build a website?
Both. Dude, they
It's
were
a long fucking
Both
dude.
same time.
I mean,
You get video and then you get
have you ever
extra
seen them
trap-
do it? They legit get stuck together. It's fucking funny.
Yeah, with their. It's kind of weird when you see 2 dogs like
And
with
then
their
they're, like,
butts
walking
towards each
around.
other. Like, what are you doing? You're forming the letter T or something.
I wasn't
Like-
even gonna let them breed this one, and all of a sudden they were tied up, and I was like, "Ah, shit. Well, I guess we're having dogs."
Have you tried to pull them apart
Fuck.
when
no,
they're interlocked?
No, you can't do
Is
that.
it painful?
Because like basically when the boy gets in there, he
It
comes,
swells up
and then he swells up, and that's why he's stuck
like a balloon.
for like 20 minutes. So they're just like walking around the yard stuck together. It's fucking.
You guys
hilarious.
have come before? I'm going to ask you this. Have you had sex with women?
Yeah, I guess.
Okay.
I mean, I have kids, so
Yeah. So
The math adds up.
yeah, I think so.
that must be horrible. I don't know if it's the same for dogs, but you bust a nut and you don't want him to
Oh, and then
even
you're
touch it.
stuck?
Yeah, but you just imagine if you were stuck inside, like,
And you're just
no!
like, and you're like done with her.
don't even talk to me. And she's like, I want to talk about our relationship.
can't
You're
get
like,
away.
fuck,
Fuck. That
I
would
can't get
suck.
away from her.
Yeah, that'd be terrible.
Forced to have a conversation about your relationship.
Damn it! I have to cover you now because I can't get
My
away
dick
from you.
hurts.
My
Ah!
dick's stuck inside of you. Oh yeah.
I mean, it wouldn't be weird if like that was like how humans mated or had sex, you know?
Humans are like complete opposite though. Like you're done having sex and
Just like, get the fuck away from me.
well, you don't swell up. You're just like done.
Yeah.
See you later.
What do you look?
Throw a towel at her.
He looks confused.
Does your dick stay hard after you come?
He's like, you don't all swell up inside of your mate?
We just have to walk around the house for like an hour.
We walk ass to ass.
Sorry, Dan. We said we'd keep it clean.
Yeah, that was the premise of the
His
fucking
penis
episode.
is in her vagina. So, Dan, you got any more topics that aren't about penises and vaginas or swelling of cocks? Nope. Your topic was good.
It was educating the people.
That's right. Talking about kombucha and shit.
I'm gonna balance that shit out though with some swelling dog dicks.
Getting some scobies from that old fucking hippie bitch down the road.
Is the SCOBY trade competitive?
I think like certain SCOBY is like way more.
Because you buy it at fucking Farmer Joe's or whatever the fucking store is.
Yeah, but you gotta find someone who has it and then convince them to give you some of it. It's like a trust thing.
I don't believe you. I think you can just buy this off of like Amazon or something.
You probably
I
could,
think
but
it's more like a social media thing. It's like who you know.
yeah, you gotta know.
For real?
You gotta
That's
know
where a lot of those trades go down.
You gotta know the old bitch down the road. You gotta go to the farmer's market for like a couple of months just to get a little piece of SCOBY.
How is this such a secretive fucking market?
Yeah.
You act like this shit
And it's
should be
one
locked
piece
in Fort
of the
Knox.
fucking thing. Like, I feel like all those fucking chicks that sling like pyramid scheme fucking health products are all talking about it.
Yeah, that's who you get it from. That's
They
where I
build
got
the
it from.
SCOBY in their nasty fucking, their corroded fucking vaginas.
It's all that trendy fucking bullshit.
That's how they do it. They gotta flop their fucking pusses over this Crab Island fucking.
They work their ass off to get it, and then they do it for like a month, and they're like, well, I'm not interested anymore. Some people probably stick with it.
So like I was telling you earlier, like that dude was like, "Could you take out these parts of the podcast?" I was like, "Just the fact that you're on this fucking thing with me is like, you're never gonna be in politics, and if you try, they're gonna use." You're associated with this fucking guy.
It's not like they could even link you to it. It'd be hard to link you
That's
to
stupid.
it anyway.
Nobody listens to this fucking thing.
Well, not until you need something in life, and then it all comes.
You'd have to be
pulling
in some
out.
high
yeah.
political position for it to even matter.
So, like,
It has to be a senator.
excuse me, sir. Have you ever listened to the Violent Professional podcast? I'm
We
listening.
made it, and I'd be like, "Yes!" I would have to. Any guest that's on this,
Were you a
fucking
member
podcast, I would
of
have to
Let's
make,
Make
a
a Cult?
presidential campaign
Yeah.
shirt for them. With
I
the
mean,
fucking,
if you could be the
Once
president,
that happens,
and
your ratings are going through the roof.
Oh,
if
dude.
you can be campaigning and then
Pete,
get
I don't even
elected,
care if they fucking hate it, because then I'm just like post that thing. I'm like, we're number one.
I don't think it matters anymore. If you can be campaigning and then get elected as the president, and you said grab her by the pussy, I think you're good to go.
Yeah, it's true.
I think you can say whatever you want nowadays. It doesn't matter.
Everyone's going to run a smear campaign.
Yeah, you just gotta own it.
And half of it's true, half of it's
Do you
not.
remember the shit we said? Let's make a cult. That's a
Fuck that exoplanets. That was way worse than.
well. It was way
Rainbow
worse in
Land.
context.
It got
It was
bad
way
at the
worse in
end.
context. But you couldn't put a
What the fuck?
Didn't realize that was as full as it was.
but you couldn't put together a valid argument against someone. But you go, oh,
Just spilled
let's
beer
make a
all
cult.
over
You're
himself
like,
for everybody that
hey,
can't
like you
see
had
what
some
we're
pretty
talking
detailed
about.
plans about how to make a cult and pretty much enslave people. Like,
You got really into the execution part.
Yes.
How are you gonna kill off all your followers? Now those followers pay money every month.
I don't think
Thank
I
you,
have that
patrons.
unique of a voice, but I have a pretty distinctive voice. Like, if you heard me on here and you met me in public, you'd be
Anybody
like,
that's
I've heard
met
your
you would
voice.
know that that's Jeremy.
Meh.
Except my mom.
Since we're on politics, Rainbow Land was where Will Ferrell in the campaign.
Oh, we're watching that next, right?
Oh, we're watching that shit. He hasn't seen the campaign. It's a mess.
I probably
I
have.
hope you brought your brooms.
I know what you're
'cause
talking
it's
about, but
a mess.
this fucking episode is all over the place.
That's what happens when you don't give us a topic.
Who gives a fuck? But I'm just saying, it's like all over the place. I love it. But I wanted to get back on what we were just talking about, but I forgot because we've had so many fucking small topics.
Yeah.
What were we just talking about?
SCOBY.
SCOBY.
Yeah, you
And I
went
don't
down
know why
a
I
lane.
want to talk about it now.
You went down the lane of implying that these secretive SCOBY dealers were
I don't believe
growing
that.
it in their pussy.
Oh,
Multi-level
grow the
marketing.
SCOBY in your
pussies.
fucking your pussy on
You
Crab
probably could
Island.
grow a little SCOBY down in there. It's nice and warm and
Tell me
moist.
again what it is. What is SCOBY?
I don't even know. It's like a fungus?
It's a block of yeast.
A yeast?
Oh, then what the? You go to the fucking.
You can't just... can you make it?
You probably could.
I think people just want to go get it because it's easier.
How do you make yeast?
I mean, anytime you just kind of let water sit, it's going to create some sort of bacteria. It's just getting the right bacteria. So I
Yeah.
think that's where it's
You
sold.
couldn't just like
What do you
take
ask
a yeast,
it if it's the
You
correct?
couldn't just take a
bacteria?
yeast packet and
If it
dump it
hurts
in
your
some
feelings
water
or
and
something?
get a SCOBY. It's not like chia pet.
Is it a solid or a liquid?
It's solid.
It's
like
a solid
spongy.
like if it's been around in the liquid for a while, it'll turn out almost to like a leather band.
It's kind of like a hard jelly like
Yeah.
gelatinous kind of thing. It's weird. It's not worth your
Kind
time.
of looks like flan.
Don't even worry about it.
That's disgusting.
You don't like flan?
And then you drink it.
No, like I'm just thinking SCOBY as a thing I put in some water.
Let it grow
It's
some
just fucking
bacteria
weird,
and
like-
drink it.
It's a gelatinous substance.
I mean, going back, and if you look back in
Then
history,
fucking
I mean,
idiots
yeah.
drink this shit.
I mean, looking back in history, though, it's
My-
pretty big,
my
especially in
intestinal
Asian
flora.
culture. Asian culture with like things like similar to SCOBY, but
So
you
it's
know.
a SCOBY is a yeast that makes a bacteria, or it makes something when bacteria is introduced.
It's a type of bacteria. It's a yeast, but the reason it's a yeast is it produces carbonation. So that's what categorizes.
Now I'm just
Kinda like how
thinking,
beer does.
coming full circle back to the beginning about people's nicknames. We need to give somebody a nickname SCOBY.
Oh, fuck yeah.
That's kind of a cool nickname, though.
Like, what's up, SCOBY?
SCOBY doesn't sound stupid, though.
Yeah, but you
giving
use
out
it.
a nickname.
You're implying yeast. Yeast are a bacteria. You call someone a bacteria,
So they have to be like.
but it doesn't sound
smelly.
mean. Like I said, it's mean, but it doesn't sound mean.
Oh, full circle. Being nice, but being mean at the same
Yeah.
time.
I mean, we started off with nicknames of Turd Ferguson.
That's just being mean and being mean, but it's still funny. You don't look at him. You look at him and go, "Why did he get that name?" But you understand that he is called Turd Ferguson. I mean, is that as basic as him being a turd, or did he shit his pants?
I think. I just think kids were being mean. He was an easy
Is
target.
this something since childhood, or is this something you picked up in adulthood?
No, it was adulthood.
I might be off this whole entire episode.
Uh-oh. Have you not been going this whole time?
I think I just fucked with it just a minute ago.
You did.
Yeah. I went a little too
I was
far.
watching your
It was a little-
fat little fucking
I was
hobbit
like,
fingers
oh,
mess
this
with the
fucking
dials.
SCOBY. Ugh. I still don't know what it is, but I'm excited about it.
You just need
once
to
I
see-
learn.
You need to see it, don't you?
Look it up on the Google box.
I can gift you a SCOBY.
See, SCOBY dealer told you.
No, you
See how he said it
$5.
too? He said gift it.
What does
do
SCOBY
you sell
sell per
SCOBY on
pound?
Etsy?
I bet you can buy it. I guarantee you can buy it online. But you probably can't get the good shit.
Sounds like a
online.
fucking body part. Like you have to go on the black fucking or the dark web to get it.
Here you go. It does kind of look like flan.
Yeah.
It just sits in the jar like that.
It's a pancake.
If you're listening, look
Can
up
I eat
SCOBY.
it?
Can you just eat that and get the
Yeah,
benefit?
you can eat it.
You could eat it. I didn't know you
The
could
fuck
eat it.
Why not?
SCOBY.
It's pretty gross.
Oh, it's
It
disgusting.
doesn't taste bad though. I didn't think it. I don't
It's
know.
like somebody made bacon and then poured the grease on top
It does
on top
kind
of
of.
a jar full of water and left
So
it.
who are we going to call SCOBY, but not let them know why? We should test bed that theory this week.
We do have a new person. No, the other one. No, he's not a new person.
Oh, Nate?
No. Oh, actually, Nate. Actually,
You've been sitting
works
here the whole
perfect
time.
for SCOBY.
Yeah.
I was gonna say Steve.
Like, we'll test out this guy over here. That's it's like
Steve.
I literally listen to you guys talk.
Steve.
Dude that sits by me now.
Oh, no. That's too easy for feelings. It's got to be Steve.
I barely know his name. I had to ask somebody else what his name was, but yeah.
Yeah, we need
I
some.
feel like if you start calling people that, though, they'll ask immediately, like, what? It's not one of those things where you, like, just manipulate
Well,
a
but you know how it
letter.
is,
So
like,
you're
you know how it is in the
when you're, like, talking
in
about
the
Pam and
community
you're
of
like,
nicknames.
hey,
you know,
Pan.
you know how it is. Like, you don't pick your nickname; people give it to you. So we just said we held the vote, and you weren't here, and we're calling
What
you
if
SCOBY.
that name ruins somebody's life?
Like Turd Ferguson.
No, it's not ruined his life.
Okay, so
He
like
just
I
was kind
recently
of,
said-
he was kind of be a.
I think he's self-conscious.
He was gonna
about
be
it.
a Turd Ferguson.
Like
Just
this is.
be honest.
I'll tell you this the same way. Like I just said it during a suicide briefing. Suicide's like Pokemon; you can't catch them all.
We could have podcasted the shit out of that.
Oh, that was, dude.
They're all very
It was-
different when you see them.
It was pretty
like, oh,
good.
that one's a Squirtle.
Yeah, we should have been podcasting.
This chick
that.
was trying to get us to like talk about stuff, but we ended up just ranting about
lots of stuff.
a lot of
but it was
stuff.
like good. Like
Don't you have the setup for that kind of situation? Do you carry around a bunch of mics in your pocket?
This
and be like, well, this is an excellent conversation. And they just start walking.
no, this is not a conversation that could have been like pushed out. But
Well, it started off with, well, what do you think could do to improve it? And you're like, oh, actually, all these extracurricular programs were terrible. But she's the one that scheduled
Yeah,
all
pretty
the
much everything
extracurricular
she-
activities. It was like-
everything she does as her job, we were like, yeah, that's dumb. And she just sat there and smiled and took it, and it was hilarious.
We didn't do it meanly, though. It was kind of like constructive criticism. Like it wasn't ever taken out of context, but like we hit shit pretty heavy.
I was like, yeah, it's kind of stupid that you talk to people, but then everyone gets to walk by the office, and then it's people don't want to talk to you. And she was like, uh-huh. Okay.
Trust me, don't worry. She's not listening to this podcast, so.
No one is.
I don't know. She looks like she parties. She's always got those dark circles under her eyes.
I think that's just age.
Maybe.
Age and blow.
And blow.
Let's watch that movie.
All right.
The Campaign, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm
Still
excited
can't believe
about
you
it.
haven't seen it.
I probably have. 2 minutes in, I'll be like, yeah, I've seen this already. As soon as you fucking hit play.
It's Will Ferrell in politics. It should ring a bell.
It does. I know what you're talking about. I just don't know if I've seen it.
Listeners, be warned. Don't waste your time listening to this episode.
It's too late. It's too late. It's too fucking late. You're too fucking late!
Surprise, this was live.
It was live right now, but not when you're listening to it. You're too late. You're fucking done. And they're like, yeah, he is right. I shouldn't have listened to it. Where's my time? Oh, the most valuable currency there is. You fucking spent it, you fuck. With that, thank you. I know nobody's going to say any closing fucking things. It's the same thing with you fucking 7. The 4 that are 7.
The 7.
The 7 minus 3. Thank you guys for being on the episode.
We'll catch all you Scobies later.
Scobies.
Oh, the viewers are the Scobies.
They're the Scobies. Fucking Scobies.
Got you good, you rookie fucks.
It's all you're worth is sitting in a jar on a windowsill.
Damn.
Making stuff that's kind of carbonated and sort of tastes good.
And it's good for you.
But you're just drinking shit water.
Scoby's actually not like a thing that you say to someone that's a bad thing, because Scoby's a good thing. So it's not even like a...
But it's the point of calling somebody a bacteria.
Okay. Yeah.
Like
Challenge
it
all
can
of
have
you
different layers.
I challenge anybody that's listening to eat a chunk of SCOBY this week.
And video it.
Video it, and then we'll post it. And dude, I don't know.
Think of it as 2019's Ice Bucket Challenge.
And with that, thank you guys. Go check out ariesclothing.com, evilvibesco.com, as well as clearedhot.team on the internets, and buy some stuff from those guys that put a lot of effort into their brand and make some cool shit. But other than that, strikeforceenergy.com, code evilvibes. Thank you.
If you like this episode, please consider subscribing to us on Patreon by visiting patreon.com/violentprofessional. By subscribing, you have access to all the episodes as soon as we upload, as well as bonus content that you can't see anywhere else. You can also support us by simply giving us a positive rating on your listening platform of choice. And above all, thank you for the continued support of the Violent Professional Podcast.